any average viewer, regular show just might seem like a normal kid's cartoon, but beneath the surface, this isn't a regular show. Possessed dolls, an army of demons, evil wizards that skin you alive, and so much more. So today we're going over the top 10 darkest regular show episodes, starting with the episode Jinx. The episode starts with Mordecai and Rigby in the park on trash duty. As they're cleaning up, they both stumble upon a quarter and both yell,
Quarter! Jinx!
Yeah, this treasure's my pleasure. Hey!
I said jinx, dude. You're jinxed. You know how this works, man. You can't talk when you're jinxed. And if you talk, you're gonna get punched. So keep your mouth shut.
Fine.
With Rigby now jinxed, he struggles to keep his mouth closed to avoid getting punched, and Mordecai has a field day beating on him, but thankfully, he runs into Muscle Man, who gives him the solution to break his jinx.
I'm sorry, I just needed to get rid of my jinx.
Why don't you take it off yourself?
You can do that?
Yeah, it's easy. Now here's what you gotta do.
Muscle Man tells Rigby in order to break the curse, he has to say his own name in the mirror 3 times, but little did he know, this would be the biggest mistake.
Rigby!
Do you mind? I'm trying to get some reading done.
That guy's dead.
That guy's not dead. Let's go!
After unleashing a beast from the underworld, it starts going on a rampage, turning everyone it touches into monsters and creates an army. Mordecai and Rigby then realize in order to banish the monster, they have to say his name 3 times in the mirror.
His name is in reverse.
As a kid, I could not get the image of Rigby's monster out of my head. It traumatized me for life, but not as much as episode number 2, In the House. It's Halloween, so Mordecai and Rigby are out trick-or-treating in the most Mordecai and Rigby fashion ever, with fake kids and a grown man dressed as a robber. Before heading home, Mordecai and Rigby stop at one more house to get candy, to which the owner doesn't answer. A frustrated Rigby then begins to egg the owner's house, but comes to find out this wasn't an ordinary house with an ordinary owner.
I think we should just go, man.
You're going to pay for that.
When they return to the park, Rigby starts having flashbacks of the wizard while starting to fall ill. And this next scene haunted my childhood for weeks.
I don't feel so good.
Rigby?
This is where we found out the wizard cursed Rigby, and his body is slowly turning into a house in the most excruciating way possible. Inside of Rigby is pretty nice, I won't lie. I wonder how much he charged for rent. But then suddenly, the phone inside of the Rigby house starts ringing.
It's for Rigby.
Put it on speaker!
How do you like the new body? Don't think this is all over, because I'm just getting started.
After hearing the wizard is coming for them and trying to strangle Benson, the gang starts preparing for war. Muscle Man, out front with the shotty, goes to check out a mysterious car that pulled up, and I don't think any of us were prepared for what we're about to see.
I told you I was ripped.
One by one, the wizard starts taking out all of Rigby's friends in the most gruesome ways possible.
Hello?
Goodbye.
First High Five Ghost gets sucked through a phone, Mordecai gets decapitated, Skips gets burned through a chimney, Pops get thrown into a wardrobe that disappears, and finally Benson gets flushed down a toilet, leaving just Rigby alone, pleading for his life while the wizard gets his revenge.
Huh? What?
How do you like it?
What? You turned me into a house and killed all my friends just to throw eggs at me? That's it?
Yep.
I don't understand how this made it into a kid show. Just like the next episode, Hello Governor. The episode starts with Rigby and Mordecai having a pretty chill movie night until Mordecai realizes Rigby chose a horror film about a British taxi possessed by the soul of its driver, who goes and takes revenge on the people who killed him. Yes, this is a kid show once again. After finishing the movie and heading to bed, Rigby then begins having nightmares about the movie and being taken out by the taxi driver. Then things start to get even crazier because his dreams turn into reality.
Hello, Governor. Hello, Governor.
Let's go! Drive!
Rigby's in a panic. Everywhere he goes and everything he sees is out to get him because of the taxi, when all of a sudden their car breaks down and they become stranded in the woods. Here, Pops and Mordecai discover this wasn't just a figment of Rigby's imagination. The killer taxi is real.
All right, help! Rigby!
Hello, Governor.
Holy crap, it's real! Run, Pops!
While desperately running away, Mordecai and Pops try to come to Rigby's rescue and take down the car, but unfortunately get laid out like a pancake. And this is where Rigby gets the courage to finally face his fear and defend himself.
The name's this! Leave me alone! I hate you! Stop following me!
So turns out it really was all in Rigby's head, and the car he just beat up was actually just a kid dressed as a car. This episode was rated one of the scariest in cartoon history, but the next episode, Teratales 6, just might beat it. In this Halloween special, the gang are on a road trip and pass the time by telling spooky stories. But there's one story in particular that is the darkest of them all.
Fine, I've got a scary story. This story is about two of my favorite people. Mordecai and Rigby are dead.
He couldn't fire them, so he just straight up murked Mordecai and Rigby. Further into Benson's story, Muscleman explains the house is now haunted by the now deceased Rigby and Mordecai, and the only way to get rid of them is by firing them, to which Benson struggles with.
They are so fired. Mordecai and Rigby, you're...
Mordecai and Rigby then continue to haunt the house while Benson struggles to fire them until he remembers he has to officially fire them in his computer. He races to his office, which is in a possessed tornado, in a final attempt to fire the two.
so scary! Oh, so scary! I did it!
But here's the twist. Rigby and Mordecai didn't actually die. It was Benson who died and started haunting the house in the funniest way possible.
Benson, look at this map!
A cartoon where the main characters die and turn into terrifying ghosts. I didn't think it could get any worse, but the episode Skip Stressed proved me wrong. The episode starts with Skips being asked to do an unlimited amount of tasks by his co-workers of the park. Throughout the day, Skip starts to experience a ton of pain throughout his body and figures out why after taking a free stress test.
Stress level critical.
Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sir, are these your stress test results?
Yeah. Why?
And I regret to inform you that your stress levels are off the charts.
Whoa, how did that even happen?
Yeah, Skips, what made you so stressed?
I honestly found it hilarious when Rigby asked what made Skip so stressed, as if he hasn't had to save the park because of him since day one. After finding out Skip's stress levels are at critical, Benson orders him to take the day off work even though he doesn't want to. So he goes home to get some rest, and this next sequence traumatized me for life. Skip slips into a dream where we see a very creepy version of Muscle Man watching as his stress starts to manifest even more into his body. So the gang begins to make their way and travel to save him. They head to the mountains and successfully ring the bell, but this is where it all goes wrong. Skip's stress manifests into a giant demon of not just his own stress, but the combined stress of everyone with him that they have to kill. Even though the odds were slim, they all worked together and successfully took down the monster. A kid's show showing how stress can literally kill you is insane. Almost as insane as bringing zombies to life like in the episode Gravesites. After getting everyone together for a group meeting in front of the house, Benson is listing a bunch of repairs and asking for fundraising ideas to help raise money. After hearing a bunch of horrible ones, Mordecai and Rigby come up with a golden idea.
We should have a scary movie night.
Yeah, in the abandoned cemetery.
You guys want to show a scary movie there?
Yes.
You know what? That could actually work. That's not a bad idea.
With the idea set and agreed upon, Benson sends everyone on a task to help set up the movie night in a cemetery, with Mordecai and Rigby being in charge of choosing the movie. After arriving at the video store, the clerk suggests one of the most horrific movies he owns.
This is from my personal stash. Zombocalypse 3D.
Oh yeah, I saw this a few years back.
No, you didn't.
What?
This is the foreign bootleg director's cut. 3 hours and 28 minutes of remastered pee-your-pants horror and gore that'll make your eyeballs barf.
And even after hearing that, they still buy the movie and begin to prepare and spread the word. With the arrival of many people and a huge amount of profits, Benson can't believe the idea actually worked. The movie starts and everyone is so hooked, including Rigby, which allowed Mordecai to spook him as a joke, causing Rigby to trip over the projector. As Rigby tries his hardest to fix it, he and Mordecai realize something super unusual starts to happen.
Ow, my kidneys.
They realize the zombie on screen is becoming way too realistic as he approaches, and they do not have 3D glasses on. With no one realizing this isn't a movie anymore, Mordecai and Rigby start to use muscle sport equipment to defend the park, which triggers phase 2 of their problems.
What's happening now?
Okay, genius, let me put this in terms you'll understand. The thing you just did, it's woken up the dead, and they're ticked off.
If anybody gets hurt, we won't get our paid day off. We gotta keep the zombies away from the people.
This leads to Mordecai, Rigby, and the crew fighting in what looks like a Call of Duty Zombies cutscene in order to defend the people, even to the point where they almost lose their lives while doing so. This is when something scary comes to life, but let's take a look at when something cute becomes evil. In the episode Sleep Fighter, we immediately get thrown into Muscle Man brutally attacking Mordecai and Rigby at the same time. In the morning, Mordecai and Rigby go to ask why he beat them up, then realize they're not the only victims. Not knowing if he's lying or not, Benson opts out to help the crew, wanting nothing to do with it. But that didn't last too long.
Okay, this is a park problem.
They then come up with a plan to tie Muscle Man down in order to figure out what dreams he's having. Cameras in every corner of the room, Mordecai and Rigby as the second line of defense. The plan was bound to work. Not too long after, Muscle Man began showing symptoms of his condition, leading him to trash the room and beat up Rigby even more. Hours later, after reviewing the footage, High Five Ghost found the answer.
Check this out.
Oh. Could be a technical glitch.
No, wait. Can you get a closer look, Fives?
Let me enhance the resolution. creepy.
What is that?
The camera must have picked up some remnants of your dream.
Muscle Man never knew how bad this kid-like show really scared him, and I felt the same way after watching this. The park crew then puts Muscle Man to sleep to extract the creatures out of his dreams, starting an all-out war in the living room, but thankfully, they're able to stop and defeat the adorable demons, and Muscle Man is able to sleep again without beating on his friends. The regular show knows how to turn the most normal things evil, just like our very next episode, Skunked. This episode kicks off with Mordecai and Rigby getting a job to complete a dead animal bingo card by picking up roadkill. With one final animal left, Rigby stumbles upon a skunk thinking it's dead.
Rigby, you okay?
Hey! Whoa, watch it, watch it!
What the heck, man?
Getting a little bit too close, Rigby ends up getting sprayed by the skunk that turned out to just be sleeping in the streets. Realizing something was seriously wrong, Mordecai calls Skips, who reveals that Rigby's been skunked, a rare curse that turns people into skunk beasts.
Was a were-skunk.
What?
Yeah, and if you don't get the smell off, you'll turn into one too, you know.
What? What do I do?
But you better get changed back soon, because once the transformation is complete, you won't want to change back.
With time running out, they both scramble to find a cure before Rigby goes full beast mode and he can't be brought back. By this time, Rigby realizes there is no cure and begins heading to the skunk's house to ask how he can get the smell off him, but the skunk had other plans. Break out into a fight where Rigby is told pineapple juice would cure him, but it's too late. Hearing this, Rigby scatters and begins to make his way to the house where he starts to transform. Making it back into the house and finding a can of pineapple juice, the skunk tells him he lied. As the final stages of transformations begin to happen, Mordecai drives to the house and tells Rigby the actual cure is tomato paste, and this causes an all-out war.
You think you could stop me from splitting my pain with your friend? You can't stop it. You can't stop nothing.
You're right, I can't stop it, but Rigby can.
Split this.
Rigby is back to normal, but this wasn't the only episode where someone had an evil friend. Let's take a look at the episode Creepy Dolls. While cleaning out the attic, Pop stumbles across an old dusty doll and immediately decides to keep it. Mordecai and Rigby say he should get rid of it because it's super creepy.
Pops, look, you gotta get rid of that thing.
What? Are you sure? Pops, you're a grown man. It's just not cool to play with dolls.
Oh, out with the old and in with the new, eh?
Having some type of emotional connection, they play along to avoid hurting Pops' feelings. Almost immediately, weird things starts happening. The very first sign was Pops having markings on his face, which leads to him throwing the doll in the trash. But this isn't the end. While Mordecai and Rigby are playing the game, they begin to hear a noise upstairs. They go up and overhear Pops speaking to himself, so they decide to take a peek. And that's when they realize the doll is haunted and they have to save Pops.
Stop!
Starting a fight, they decide to team up to get rid of the doll. They head down to the basement for a final showdown, which turns into a full-on horror movie with scenery, trauma, and death.
Did you hear that?
Mordecai!
And once everything is settled, the doll jumps out of the fire for one final blow. And now it's over. This episode by far was a childhood favorite, but not as much as our next one, Teratales 3. Things start off with Rigby pulling in a new mattress that he saved every penny for. After a bit of trash talking from Mordecai about the difficulty setting up the bed, Rigby takes on the challenge, calling it easy. After a few attempts of trying to set it up, He just calls Skips to fix it. At first, everything seemed fine, the bed super comfy, and Rigby's living the dream. But then a news report appeared on his TV.
Have you purchased a bed recently?
Yes?
It may have been a fatal mistake.
Realizing his bed was the one that contains the spirit of Johnny Allen Wrench, the bed begins to fight him. Screaming for help, Mordecai doesn't think too much of it, assuming he just wants attention. After hearing the amount of screaming, Mordecai goes up to their room to find a bed with an alley key knife threatening to take Rigby's life. While everyone panicking, Benson steps up to negotiate.
Powers of negotiation.
Let Rigby go!
You'll call the cops.
We won't call the cops if you let him go.
Finally, once Johnny calmed down after Benson offered him a job, the crew planned an attack to brutally kill the bed. I mean, full-on horror action mode with tools and straight up murk the dude in broad daylight. That was the top 10 darkest regular show episodes. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe, or this will be under your bed tonight. I'm not kidding.